How is everyone? Happy Friday! Round of applause. You made it through another week. I know, I'm always surprised too. Do not adjust your screens or your whatever it is that you watch this on. I'm still having so much trouble with the lighting. I have I have 4 lights. They're not all on. I've got half of them on because otherwise, excuse me. What was I saying? The lighting. I don't have all 4 of them on because it's just too much. But I feel very pink, and it's like those curtains may have to go. I don't know. It's not like they're full curtains, but you can see the sun through them. So maybe I feel like maybe they're just making this room a little too pink. Or causing too much pinkness to bestow upon me. Anyway, do you notice my bat earrings? Aren't they so cute? Like, so cute. These are the ones I got in the haul from the last video. So if you haven't watched that video, go watch that. I mean, what are you doing with your life? You should be watching my videos. So this week, I thought it would be fun. We're going to go back to the Shrinky Dink type stuff because that was fun. I use these pins a lot. Natty likes to pin things to my rainbow board, so I think those are fun. I honestly want to do a few more for my board since she's taking up all of my push pins, so I can't use them on things. But I also wanted to make some magnets because Halloween is coming, folks. It is here. It is September 5th. So we do not have all that much time to get ourselves together for the Halloween spectacular. If you don't like Halloween, this one is probably not for you, unless you want to stick around and I'll show you how to make Shrinky Dink magnets, and you can do whatever you want on them. So I have this little notebook, and like, if you don't like Halloween, like maybe you are not my people. Like, I just have to say, like, Halloween is my favorite holiday, and yes, it should be a holiday. To be a national holiday where the kids don't have to go to school the next day because, you know, parents were trying to make memories and magic happen with Halloween because it's the one holiday you don't have to get together with your family members who hate you, the family members who are going to bring drama into your life for the day, because who needs that? You don't have to buy anybody gifts. You don't have to buy or put out a massive spread that no one will thank you for and no one will appreciate but you. So you don't have to do jack. All you have to do is pass out some candy. And our house passes out candy to kids no matter how old they are. Even the parents, like, you are coming out here, you know, trick-or-treating with your kids, you're going to leave with some candy, A. And B, I always think about the kids who are older kids who are still clinging to that little bit of their youth, and they are choosing to be out there asking for candy, trick-or-treating, trying to have a little bit more fun before they are forced to grow up and be part of this hellhole we call civilization in real time, adulting. And I just think that, you know, since they are choosing to do that instead of go and cause mischief, they should have some candy. And I've made many a teenagers very happy by giving them big bags of candy. Usually they're always the last ones to show up because they're embarrassed, but they usually get the biggest haul because I don't need it all in my house. So they get big hauls, or they get several little bags of stuff because I love to put a bag together. But anyway, I could go down the Halloween rabbit hole for a while. Like, real talk, it's legit. Moving on, back to our day. So, I feel like I'm yelling. Sorry. You guys are right there. I'm sorry. My iPad is dead, and so is the pencil that I use, my Apple Pencil. So, I can't put my images on, like print them out from my iPad, which is fine because I haven't drawn them in my iPad. I drew them in my little notebook that I got. I got this at Target last week in the clearance section for, what was it? It's like $1.50. I got Natty a little dog one. So my little very sweet notebook, I have some very rough, terrible sketches of Halloween stuff. So that is what we are making today. Halloween themed magnets and pins for your boards, and magnets for, you know, your fridge or your car or a shelf behind you, perhaps. Something. Anyway, let's get at it. Very excited. Oh, first, supplies. Let's get our supplies together. Okay, so our stuff really isn't that much stuff. We have our Shrinky plastic, and what I got last time is it's got a more rough texture to it, and that's the side that you draw on. So, and this is just a shrink plastic. It's not shrinky dink plastic, but I'm telling you, it's all the same. Or if you know how to use the like the clear plastic takeout containers, those will work too. I'm not one of those people. I know you can look it up on Pinterest or probably Google, but I bought this ages ago and I'm trying to work through it. So I have this. I have some terrible drawings and copy paper. And I'm just going to cut my copy paper in half. And for this size, I try to stick to like a large area, maybe half. I would do half, but like one of these, so I could do 2 images on this and just like that. Yeah. So, okay, first things first, and you need something to color it all in with, right? So I really like using my Poscas because I have a lot of them. I even have a drawer of old Poscas. But you can absolutely use colored pencils as well. I have watercolor pencils back there. I have, you know what? I might try some colored pencils actually. Oh, here's the other drawer that I can't get to. Prismacolors. Here we go. So I've got these. And these are lovely and fun. And then we have some glittery ones. They're not glittery. They're metallic. Which my sister actually, and a couple random Faber-Castell. Oh, I have my Faber-Castell. Where are those? I organized my stuff, and now I can't find it. Like, because my colored pencils, my really good colored pencils used to always be over there, and now they are not. And now I can't find them, and that's upsetting. Perhaps this was not the best use of my time. Because I think, oh, hey there. There we go. All the colored pencils. Yeah, I might do that, actually. We're gonna try a little bit stuff. Little bit stuff. Do you like that? Isn't that nice? No, it's not. It's not a Monday, I promise. Yeah, okay. All right. Time to get working. Let's go.
All right, friends, here we are. My first one is a little white ghost with a bow on her head. Is she not just the cutest? You can get tons of ideas for, different Halloween things and stuff on Pinterest or Google. Just go to, Google whatever you want. Go to images. Sometimes you can find, easy or cute or whatever. So I found an idea like this. Like, this is very popular, a little ghost with a bow. So I thought that'd be cute to make for Natty. The white pencils are obviously very hard to see, so you kind of got to check that every now and then. But I'm just coloring it in as best I can. I will say, if I could go back again, I would do a second overall layer on this of white because of the pencils, they don't fill in as well. And that's just my own thing. That's not end all be all. And I even filled in her little face, so that way the black, when I put it on there, wouldn't show like lines and stuff, like gaps. And while it kind of looks full when I lift the paper or lift the plastic, it's not as full as it should be. So that's just my little tip. If you're going to use colored pencils, do a second layer. And then I'm kind of just shading it in. Shading in her little wrinkles and her little dress folds. Get your head out of the shot for the love of Pete. Do you like this background music? Isn't it so cute? So adorbs. Just a little dot. And I'm sorry, again, I don't know what is wrong with my camera or what I keep hitting to show a date. It's really annoying. And the date is wrong because I didn't film these a year ago. I wish I had, but it's not what I did. It was the 5th of September when I did these. And today's now the 18th, so that's how long it takes sometimes to get to the videos. And plus, like, I didn't want to edit and post this too early in the season, but I feel like now that we're mid-September, it's good. I'm sad to say that I have not gone out to my shed to dig through all of our crap and pull half the shed apart to get to our Halloween bins. We have a lot of Halloween bins. Like, we've got like 27 or 28 Christmas bins. I know what y'all are thinking. Man, hoarder much? No. It's so hard. It's hard to get rid of Christmas decor, I feel like. And last year I did get rid of a bin, so maybe we're at 27. I don't know. But we've got like 12 Halloween bins, I think. Like, we just, it's easy to collect, and then you got to put it somewhere. So my mission this winter is to downsize all of our stuff because I have a storage unit full that I need to unpack and get home and, end the $200 storage bill. It's almost $200 for a 10 by 10. It's ridiculous. So anyway, needing to do that. And now I'm just doing some little details on top again, giving her a little bit more shading and a little bit more movement in her sheet. I like her big eyes. I think she's adorable. All right, so we're filling in color. Trying to blend. I think I don't use colored pencils as much because for some reason I have a hard time blending. I have a friend who does the most magnificent portraits of people that I've seen, like just incredible, and there's layers and layers and layers of colored pencils. I don't know what kind of colored pencil she uses, but they're incredible. Get your hair out of the way. But yeah, I mean, they look like a photograph. Like, they're amazing. She's a really talented artist. Sharpness is key, so get your pencil sharpener around. And I'm doing the little bubbles and all the little doohickeys. I will say, I feel like these could have been a little bit bigger. So I cut my sheets in half. But I think that they should have been full size for like a bigger magnet. These turned out cute. They're little though, like you'll see at the end. So, I mean, I guess it's nice because then it's not a lot to have to store. Like, you can store them in a little snack baggie and they'd be fine. But yeah, I do wish that I had made them just a little bit bigger, or fill the space maybe. Maybe that's what I should do. I have a hard time filling space too, because it's like, that's a big piece of blank paper, and I don't know, sometimes it's just, blankness is hard to fill. But I had to do a cauldron, a little witch's brew, so I thought that was really cute. And the green goo coming out of it. Bubble, toil and trouble, I think is how that goes. And now I'm sitting there thinking I needed a circle to do the background so that way I could cut it out. Oh my gosh, woman, get your hair out of the shot. People can't see. I think I need to put the camera on the other side, like up front maybe, of my desk, so that way this doesn't happen. I have to say, when this one came out, I think it's one of my favorites. Regardless of the fact that it's not as big as I'd wanted, but I think this one's one of my favorites because it came out really cute. You can always do the color pencil and then a little bit of, what's it called? The little white pens that everybody loves to hate. I can't think of what they are. They're like a gel pen. It's always skipping, but that's what they do. Oh, or you could put a little bit of Posca on there too. So And that's what I've chosen to do because I wanted it to shine up real nice like. And I just go back in for the little details. This would be really cute if you took a full sheet and did your little kids' handprints on them. You could dip them in paint and stick them down and outline them with a colored pencil or something. That'd be really cute. There's another one that I've done. So that's 3. Just haven't seen them all, and that's okay. We're trying to get through these. There's my cute little pumpkin. I do love this little pumpkin a lot. And when you do this, you need to tape your paper to the Shrinky plastic, because otherwise it'll move and then it'll mess up your image. And actually, see, you can see it, like this one moves a little bit. You have to be very careful with the layers that you use for Posca, because that's how it gets fuzzy. And if you ever screw one up and you get that fuzziness, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. It's very bizarre that plastic can get fuzzy, but it's from too many layers of paint. And so when you use like paint pens, I got that Sharpie marker because they didn't have any Poscas. Like I needed a new black Posca, and I have to say I hate that pen. Like it's too fat and it's too wiggly, and then I didn't like the teeth, so I exited out of the teeth. I filled the gaps, as it were. I think you can use almost any kind of marker on these. Like if you use a Crayola marker, maybe, I don't know. I've never actually used them, so I guess we'll see. Let's see. And then I wanted some other pumpkins. I was trying to do a bigger pumpkin with like a cute face on it, or a spooky face. Can't remember. I shot this video a while ago, so I don't honestly remember. Although I do have the final look downstairs on my fridge that I see every morning. You would think that I'd remember. Just filling in all those little details. You have to wait for the Poscas to dry before you add anything, or you'll smear it. Or sometimes if the ink comes gushing out, like they sometimes do, that can be really problematic. I'm not sure what I'm doing. Let's see. Oh, there we go. No, you really can't see the details on that one. It's like, hello. Oh yeah, there we go. I like his little face. His face makes me laugh. I really love those eyes. He looks scared. Like, what is happening? And don't forget your little curly Q at the top. This one I love. I did a whole double page spread last fall with Andrea Nelson from through Instagram. She posts really great how-to videos, and she had a whole series of spooky Halloween stuff, and I have a whole double page spread full of witches' hats that all look like this, and I just love how they came out. We did witches' brooms, potion bottles, witches' hats. I want to say maybe ghosts were in there, pumpkins were in there, I think. Maybe not pumpkins, but it was really fun. And mine are in watercolor, so this one is just a little nod to that. And this hat is kind of beat up, so I'm adding some little bits that are kind of hanging off, kind of like a scarecrow hat. You know how it comes apart because it's straw, kind of like that. And then you just fill in the bits and pieces, and with whatever color you like. I forgot the spider. Although I'm not sure, with how small it was, I don't think you could see the spider hanging down anyway, so that's okay. I forgot to do a spider, darn it. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to go back and do another one or two. Forgot the spider. And then there's my little bottle. And then I accidentally cut a half piece in half again, so these pieces are really teeny tiny. Can anybody guess what we're gonna do? Orange, yellow, and white? You either love it or you hate it, and it's a strong opinion. Either way. In this house, we like our candy corn. I don't know what everybody's beef is with candy corn. It just makes me laugh. It's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like Butterfingers, or Three Musketeers. Either you love it or you hate it. There is no middle ground. Personally, Brooks and I cannot stand Butterfingers. It's a textural thing for us. I think for him it's a flavor thing because he's very weird about candy that tastes like peanut butter. He hates a Reese's peanut butter cup. I'm just like, what is wrong with you? But it's fine. But yeah, those are just weird textures for us. So I'm sure that the candy corn is probably a textural thing for a lot of people too. These got very wet very fast and puddly, so I had to let those dry a good long while before I got back to them. All right, let's get this little potion bottle. Super cute little picture, right? It's adorbs. Was trying to do something other than orange and green. Thinking it through, changing all the pens. Good grief, woman, just pick a pen. Yeah, I did this one. And that pink just does not, and it's puddly. Do you see that? It oozed. I guess that's kind of good for a potion bottle. Yep, it oozed again. It's just good grief. I was trying to do a glass ball top on the potion bottle. Yeah, those colors aren't working. Oh, good grief. I think we're going to pause. We're going to stop this mess and move on. It's Frankenstein! This one came out so stinking cute. It's one of my favorites. Frankenstein is by far my favorite movie monster. Back in college, the first time for my graphics degree, we had to illustrate our favorite movie monster in our favorite illustrator's style. Did you get that? Okay, so my favorite illustrator is Alice in Wonderland's illustrator, Sir John Tenniel. He's my favorite. I think he's brilliant, and he worked in woodblock print. So his wasn't even an illustration with a pen and pencil. It was carved wood that he would stamp, which I think is amazing, which is why the illustrations look the way they do. And then I picked Frankenstein because I always kind of liked him. I always thought he was fun and whatever. And plus he's big and kind of green and and I feel very much like Frankenstein in the morning before coffee. So he was my favorite. The illustration is by far one of the greatest things I've ever drawn in my life. Everything came out perfect. I hand drew it all. Lots of people in class traced it, which, I don't know, I feel like if you trace stuff, you really can't call that your work, because it's not. Which granted, I can't really call the Alice in Wonderland bits my work because, well, that's somebody else's work that I copied. So there's that. Anyway. But it came out great. I did a border around it of the cards and the king and queen and the rabbit at the bottom. I got all the details, and they were running, Alice and Frank were running through the woods or the fields or something, and she's kind of got her arms up oh, dude, what's the matter with you? And he's kind of rah! It's a great photo, or it's a great piece. I'll have to find it and maybe share that with you at some point. So there's that. And then I did a ceramic sculpture of this head. One day, things were not going well at the studio, and I was like, you know what, I'm making a head. I just started putting stuff together, and a head came out, and then I decided to give it lots of texture so it's sort of melty and chunky and whatever. And out before I knew it, it came out looking like Frankenstein. So I was like, cool. This guy's hair I thought was so cute. He's kind of like a teenage Frankenstein. And look how happy he is. Just the happiest Frank ever. So anyway, then I have the sculpture, and he's got a little flower over his ear. It's super cute. I'll have to share my Frankenstein stuff. I feel like I need to do something Frankensteinish for you guys or with you guys. That'd be fun because I have tons of stuff that I want to sculpt, so that might be fun. Ooh, or I might make some Frankenstein-esque shoes. That would be fun. That's a great idea. I like that idea. Fun. Okay, well, we'll think on that. I'll noodle on that a bit, and we'll see what comes next week. Actually, it won't be next week. It'll be at least a couple weeks, because filming and editing and, you know, all the things. So, I'm lost in how I'm filling it. I wish I'd put a tongue in there. Like, that would have been smart, but that's okay. It's got a big old empty gob. I do think he came out really cute. And like I said, he's one of my favorites. He's now on my 3-tiered cart thing that sits behind my desk. And I have that pumpkin with the funny little face. He's like, ooh. So I've got that on that cart as well. Putting in a little dark line for definition and like his throat and shading and all that stuff. He's got some, you know, big circles under his eyes because, well, I mean, obviously. I don't know. I thought about doing Halloween costumes and going as your favorite movie monster this year as a family costume. I thought that'd be fun, but that's not what we're going with. And initially, I had thought about doing, what's it called? You know, the Wizard of Oz with Elphaba and Glinda, and Brooks was gonna be the wizard, and I think I don't know, I'm still kind of leaning on that because it's like, oh, that's what I wanted to do because it's my choice this year. Although we did buy a wig already for the other idea, and it's like I'm still sort of on the fence about that. But Brooks was like, you know what? It's your choice. Do what you want. So I think we might have to go back to the original idea. These Poscas, you can pull out the tips and then flip them around when they get a little too fuzzy. And then you have a new tip, which is nice. I will say that's pretty cool. There are people who refill them. I've never done that because I don't know what kind of paint to put in it. I think it's just acrylic paint, but it has to be a certain percentage of water to it, so that way it flows. All right, we're moving back on next to for the next round of corn. It's candy corn layers. And another layer on the lollipop and some spots because that's fun. This is sort of a process if you couldn't tell. It's a lot of little details and layers and things, much like any other art that I do. It's just a lot. And that's okay. Art's fun. It's supposed to be relaxing and fun, and I did have a lot of fun making these. Actually, like, this is probably one of my more favorite recent projects. I have another project that I've made. I feel like it's more appropriate for spring, though, so I might save that one for next year. I don't know. I guess we'll see. If I don't lose it. It's organized. I have a very organized computer, which is nice. My husband got me new to me, it's used, but a new computer with a crap ton of RAM and space and all the things, because my laptop, ooh, that's a wet bottle. Good grief. Do you see that? That's what I'm talking about. Like, that's why that one came out fuzzy, because it's way too much. And that's the problem with Poscas, is that they do explode on you, and then, you know, that's a stitch. Anyway, my computer is awesome. It's empty, though. It has no programs whatsoever on it, so everything I use, I'm having to find and put on here, and I don't have Bluetooth on here. I don't have a CD-RAM, which I really need one. I don't have any illustration programs, which I actually really need, so we're looking for one that's not Illustrator, because Illustrator is ridiculously expensive, so going with something else. Anywho, but it's nice, because then I have all my videos organized for the first time ever. It's lovely. It's not just a miscellaneous folder with 8,000 pieces of stuff in there, because that's what's on my laptop. So if you ever get the opportunity to get a new computer, organize first. Start with that. Make your folders of stuff. So it's nice. Alrighty, moving on to pumpkins. I'm using some reference photos just for shapes and angles and stems and leaves and stuff. What's nice about Posca pens is that you can actually blend them. I've figured out, like if they are wet enough while they're still wet, because they do dry. Sometimes they dry so fast, and other times you wait a while. But as long as they're fluid, you can use your next color in there and blend. So that's what I did with that little one on the right, which is why that one looks so awesome. I should have done that with the others, but I didn't want them all to come out looking the same. So I did not. I will say these three didn't get fuzzy. They sometimes don't shrink flat, and so you'll see me using a pan later. Like, you need to flatten them as soon as, like, if you use the oven and your Shrinky Dinks come out of the oven, use a spatula, like a flat spatula, and just squish down on them, so that way while they're still warm you can get that flatness to them, because otherwise sometimes they're misshapen. I had one in the first round that I did. I think I showed it to y'all. It was a hot mess. Like, it was all kinds of wonky. I think I pulled it too soon, or maybe it curled in on itself. I can't remember. And I was gonna save it for a while, and I think I did for like a couple weeks, and I was like, there's no point to keep this. It was more for, posterity purposes, but all right, what are we doing? We're just sitting looking at this pumpkin. What is happening? Oh, there we are. Okay. I enjoy carving pumpkins. I don't know about y'all, but I love to carve a pumpkin. We used to do a pumpkin party every year in the cul-de-sac, and we'd invite all the neighbors. They'd bring their pumpkins, bring the kids. We had drills out there with egg beaters on them to clean out the pumpkins. That works amazingly. So that is my number one pumpkin carving tip. Use your drill if you have one, or borrow one, and make sure you clean it up. Be nice. Be a good friend, or wrap it in a bag or something, and then put the egg beater in the drill hole, and bam, there you go. I will say the thicker beaters work better than like the thin beaters. So if you have a thick one, or if you find them at Goodwill, sometimes you'll find old beaters and stuff, because we've all gone over to the pretty ones. So that's a great tip for you. Anyway, and we used to have a good time. We haven't done it in a while, and I doubt we'll do it this year, but it was fun. This one I made for Natty, this little cat in the moon. She loves kitty cats. We all do. Cutting out Frank's little hairs. It was so cute. Like, just, I don't know. I see his face and he makes me smile. I think he's adorbs. Just adorbs, and I like his spiky little hair. And it actually it wasn't terrible after it shrank. Like, it's not super sharp. Like, I was kind of worried about that. If you don't want it too spiky, if you choose to do a spiky one like that, you can, nip the tops off, so no worries. And they don't have to be perfectly round or anything. Like, the pumpkins, I just went around the edge. Like, there's a little border on them. Same thing, I think, right here with the witch's hat, because all of its little doodads poking out. And I wasn't about to curl in with that. The plastic can be very difficult to cut, so you need to be real careful with that, otherwise it'll crack. So use your sharpest, smallest scissors. Don't use big scissors. You gotta use little ones. And that's how the bottle came out. I thought that one was cute. I know, showing them all to you. So fun. And now I've got my heat gun. So this is the first time I've ever used a heat gun. Last time I used the oven. The last only two times I've used Shrinky plastic. You know what's sad? In my childhood, I've never used Shrinky plastic. Like, I don't know if it just wasn't a thing, or I just never knew about it. But look how satisfying that is. Yeah, so we got some shrink plastic a few years ago for my daughter. See, and now I'm like laying on it. Be real careful if you use a tin like this, a tin lid, which is great, but it gets hot quick. So don't use your hands to smash on top of the image. Like, I don't know, use a pad or a washcloth or something on it, so that way you can smash on top of it and not heat your hands. you got this part right here. You've got to trust the process, and the process is scary because it's like curling in on itself and it's doing all its thing, and you just have to wait until it lays back down, which is really scary and horrifying. So it's like you just, you see it shrink in, but it came out good. You see it shrink in on itself, and then it's like, oh gosh, like, is that gonna really lay flat? Like this one, oh my gosh. I was like, no, little guy, like, please, please. So yeah, I'm one of those people. I'm talking to my magnets, or my Shrinky dinks. So cute. And if you're using a heat gun, give it some time in between just to cool down for just a minute or two. It will make a difference because your hands get hot. At least mine do. Depending on, obviously if you hold it on the handle, it's fine, but I don't know. I'm always afraid that I'm going to overheat stuff, so. And so this is how they all came out. A few of them, the circles are a little wonky, like on the bat, it's a little wonky. And that's just the nature of the beast with the shrink plastic. It's not always perfect. That one's a little wonky. That one came out cute, but it's fuzzy. These little tiny pieces were so cute, but like, man, they were so itty bitty. That one came out really cute. The little ghost is so cute. So cute. And Frank, I forgot to color in his eyes. And that one came out super funky and fuzzy. So that one, I guess I didn't trust the process very well, so I chucked that one. He didn't make it. Glue gun, magnets, and my glue stick in my little jar that I made. So I went through with these magnets are flipping huge. Like, I was like, good grief, they're so big. But I think they worked out okay. I will say the marks that it's leaving all over drove me nuts. I was like, ew, that's gross. For Frank's eyes, I just got my Posca. Can't see it. I got my Posca and I put white on the back of his eyes. So I'm just letting that dry. So that's a little thing. Like if you forget a color or something, you can see, obviously you can see through it. The pumpkins, the triple pumpkins, I could have done that as well. I didn't think about it until just now. To do like a little background color so you could see the little curly cues. See, and here's my obsessive compulsive part. I'm really not obsessive compulsive about anything, but sometimes my mat just being gross drives me bananas. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm like this. It just does. And these magnets, I will say, I got these at Lowe's, I think, Lowe's Hardware, and they are some of the strongest magnets I think I've ever gotten. I'm not a big fan. Oh no, you know what? I think I got these at Michael's. I'm not a huge fan of like the hobby magnets that, come out on a strip and, you cut you cut what you need, because those just don't hold. Like they will not hold a piece of paper. I have to say these magnets aren't, I don't know, like they're strong when they try to get together, but holding a piece of paper is a little disappointing. It has to be a very small piece of paper, not like an 8.5 by 11. So you'd need all of these to hang your kids' art. I don't know. Yeah, I just said that they were the strongest magnets ever, but like they're not. I like the hardware ones, like you get at Lowe's. That's where this conversation was going. Good grief, I'm all over the place. So that's my recommendation. Go to your hardware store, get magnets there. They're usually better and stronger because you're in a hardware store, not a hobby shop or crafts. Craft magnets are just not great. These just cling to each other though, so it's like, okay, I don't know. So weird. Yeah, I literally wipe the backs of all of these magnets off with my little wet wipe because they're just gross. Like, I don't know why they're like this. See, and now they're clicking together. And then this is the 3D Magic Mod Podge. So I had to find a pin to poke a hole in it. So now I have a pin sitting in it so it doesn't glue itself shut because that tip is really tiny. Are we coming back to this? I don't know. All right, there we go. And it's kind of foggy, and that's okay. It dries crystal clear. I find this probably the best stuff for Shrinky plastic or things of this nature. Gotta have the glasses on so I can see. It does spread very quickly, so you need to be careful, like you don't overload it. I have a couple that dripped, but it was fine. It worked out fine. I like to leave them on the table if I can. And some were a little oddly shapen, which is why like this bottle like drips and drips and drips because it's all kinds of, it's a little wonky. It's not as flat as it should be. And I don't know if I maybe forgot or just didn't press hard enough. See, there you go. There's my mess. I'm trying to spread it out and just kind of get it off so that way I can, and then I don't, gotta use it all. I don't want to waste it. Yeah, it's a process. I don't know. The candy corn, actually, I was more afraid of that just running everywhere because they're glued on top of each other. Like it's not a solid piece like the rest of them, but I think it did okay if I remember correctly. And then this stuff takes a little bit to dry. I like to leave this sit overnight and then do another coat, and then let that sit for a good long while. So that way I have a nice thick layer, but I don't put it all on top, like all at once. All right, last one, I think. Oh no, I've got the candy corn too. Oh, good grief, we're gonna clean up the mess.
Friends, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I do hope you enjoyed this project because this was really fun for me. I love me some Halloween. I think they turned out great. I did put, sorry, my printer's making noise. I did put 2 or 3 layers of the Mod Podge dimensional on here. It gives it a nice shine, and B, it kind of fills in some of that gap, especially if you have any that went fuzzy. Now, when the fuzzy ones, they will soak up that dimensional magic, and I think I wound up putting 4 layers on this guy, so because he was fuzzy. I do think this one turned out really cute with the candy stacked on top of each other with little candy corns, like adorbs. And then Frank's my favorite. He's my absolute favorite monster ever, and I think that he's really cute. He's kind of almost like a teenage Frank. I don't know. I have a sculpture behind me. I'm not sure if you guys have ever seen it, but. And then this little tiny ghost girl, I made that one for Natty because I know she even sat down and was like, I really want a ghost. I don't think she even saw it. So it works out well for me. Little surprise on the fridge. So anyway, I hope you had a good time watching this. I hope you will make your own. It's just Shrinky Dink plastic. You can buy it on Amazon. And because mine's not name brand, I think mine was like $8, but it had like 100 and some odd sheets in it. So it's actually a pretty good deal. And I think I prefer using between the Poscas and the color pencils. I think the color pencils turned out better. I did put some white in Frank's eyes, but I think it was after the fact. It was a little late, but at least you can't see through his eyes. If I could go back and do these again, I'd color a little bit harder. Sorry, my printer is loud. I don't know why. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me today. Until next time, friends, keep making beautiful things and putting them out in the world. And until next week, I will see you later. Bye. Bye. Okay. Oh, I said bye.